It was a cold, rainy night when I found her, huddled near a flickering street lamp. She was shivering, arms wrapped tightly around her thin frame. At first, I thought she was just another lost soul in the chaos of the city. But when I stepped closer, the dim light revealed her unusual features: skin a soft shade of lavender, large luminous eyes that shimmered like liquid silver, and hair that cascaded down her back in thin, silky strands that glowed faintly in the dark. She was an alien, a child, no older than 12 in human years, though I had no idea how her species aged. Her dress was tattered, revealing strange, delicate markings along her arms, glowing lines that pulsed softly as if responding to her emotions. She was crying, her silent sobs barely audible over the pattering rain. When she saw me, her eyes widened and she whispered in a broken voice, "Please help. Hungry." I didn't hesitate. I knelt beside her, removing my jacket and wrapping it around her trembling shoulders. "Come with me," I said softly. She hesitated, blinking up at me with tear-streaked cheeks. Then, slowly, she placed her small, delicate hand in mine. I took her home, the strange guest. My apartment was small but warm, and as soon as we stepped inside, she looked around in wonder. She sniffled, her silver eyes reflecting the dim light of the kitchen as I grabbed a towel and handed it to her. She was still wary, watching me closely, but hunger outweighed fear. I set a plate of food before her: bread, soup, and some fruit. The moment the scent hit her, her eyes widened, and she devoured the meal with desperate urgency, eating with her hands. "You poor thing," I murmured, watching her scarf down the food. "Where are you from? How did you end up here?" She paused, licking her fingers clean before glancing up at me. "Home far. Not here." She struggled with words, as if she had learned only fragments of my language. "People chase me. Scared. Alone." A pang of sympathy stabbed at me. Of course, she had been chased. An alien child appearing in a city full of humans? It was a miracle she hadn't been captured by authorities already. "What's your name?" I asked. She hesitated before whispering Zyra. "Zyra." I repeated, "I'm Adam." She nodded, seeming to register my name before wrapping herself tighter in the oversized jacket. "You're safe now," I assured her. "You can stay here as long as you need." She blinked at me in shock, as if kindness was something she wasn't used to. Then, slowly, a tiny smile formed on her lips. For the first time that night, she looked a little less afraid. A new life, a hidden threat. Over the next few weeks, Zyra adjusted to life in my apartment. She was a fast learner. Within days, she was picking up words and sentences, her speech improving at an unnatural rate. She was incredibly intelligent, understanding concepts I didn't expect her to grasp. She was also hiding something. Late at night, I would hear her whispering softly to herself, a strange melodic hum following her words. Sometimes when she thought I wasn't looking, her hands would hover over objects, and they would move slightly as if responding to her will. She had abilities beyond human understanding. One night, as I prepared dinner, Zyra sat at the table, watching me with an odd expression. "Adam," she said softly, "why help me? Others run, others hate." I set down the knife and sighed. Because no one deserves to be left in the cold, hungry, and alone. And because I don't think you're dangerous. Just scared. She stared at me for a long time before nodding. I was scared, but not anymore. A small, grateful smile appeared on her lips. My heart clenched. She had been through so much, yet she was still just a child trying to survive. But peace didn't last long. One evening, as we were watching the city lights through the window, Zyra tensed, her pupils dilating unnaturally. "They found me," she whispered. I barely had time to react before the entire building shook. The chase. A blinding blue light beamed through the window, followed by the sound of something heavy crashing onto the rooftop. Zyra grabbed my arm, her entire body trembling. "They come," she breathed. "For me." Before I could ask who, a mechanical voice boomed through the streets. "Unregistered extraterrestrial detected. Surrender immediately." Zyra gasped, clutching her chest. "They take me. Kill me." I grabbed her hand. "Not if I can help it." I had no idea what I was doing, but I wasn't about to let them take her. We bolted toward the emergency exit. Behind us, the apartment door exploded inward as figures in black tactical gear stormed inside. Zyra whimpered, but I pulled her forward, forcing her to run. We reached the alley, but a drone hovered above, scanning us. A red light locked onto Zyra. "No!" I lunged forward, shielding her as a metallic tendril shot out from the drone. But before it could strike, Zyra let out a sharp, high-pitched cry. The air around us vibrated. Then, in a burst of energy, the drone shattered into pieces. She had used her power. Her hands glowed, eyes wild with energy. She panted heavily, gripping my arm. "Go," I urged. "We need to keep moving." We ran. Escape and the truth. Hours later, we hid beneath an old bridge outside the city. Zyra was curled up beside me, exhausted. I could still hear the distant hum of drones searching for us. "They won't stop, will they?" I asked quietly. Zyra shook her head. "They fear me. Fear what I am." I studied her. "What are you?" She hesitated before whispering, "Last of my kind." My heart clenched. "You mean?" "My people gone. Killed. By them." Her silver eyes glistened with sadness. "They hunt me. Because I am proof. Proof of what they did." A sick feeling settled in my stomach. Whoever they were, government, military, or something worse, they wanted to erase her existence. I exhaled sharply. "Then we need to get you somewhere safe." She looked up at me, hope flickering in her eyes. "Together?" I nodded. "Together." That was all she needed to hear. A new beginning. It took weeks of careful planning, but eventually I got Zyra out of the city. Using old contacts, I secured fake documents and passage to an off-the-grid settlement hidden deep in the mountains. There, among people who had also escaped from the watchful eyes of the authorities, Zyra found a home. She thrived. Her powers grew stronger, her speech more fluent, her laughter more frequent. The scared, starving girl I had found on the streets became someone bright, full of life and hope. One evening, as we sat under the stars, she turned to me with a soft smile. "Thank you, Adam." "For what?" "For everything." I ruffled her glowing hair and smiled. "You don't have to thank me, kid. We take care of each other." She nodded before gazing up at the stars. "One day, I find others like me. I know they are out there." I believed her, and until that day came, I would protect her, no matter what.